Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Critical Analytics. Today, we're going to talk about this abomination of desolation. I'm talking about it quite a bit lately because you're about to experience it. So we're going to talk a little bit about it now. We're going to do a critical analysis of it. Critical analytics. Who will inherit? Who will inherit the earth? It's a war going on, brothers and sisters. It's a war going on. So let's proceed. Okay, let me check one thing here right quick. Why is that there? One thing here, brothers and sisters. Let me do something here. What is going on here? Why is that showing? Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Shouldn't be there. Okay. So, critical analytics. Everything's about to change. We're told there's going to be a time of unprecedented trouble. At that time, everything will change, and we're entering that phase now. And when you study it closely, it tells you a few things, like it was preceded by this abomination of desolation. Now we see in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, they had to flee to the mountains. In both cases, they had to flee suddenly, quickly, right, immediately. So both the stories are connected. I'm not going to go into detail about each one of them. But the bottom line we want to talk about here is what's that sign? Because you have to recognize it. You have to recognize what that sign is. It says, when you see it, it doesn't tell you what it is. It says, let the reader understand. It doesn't tell you anywhere in the scripture exactly what that is. And you got all kinds of people talking about it. Well, it's this, it's that, all conjecture. But they don't know, they're guessing. The only way you're going to know, you have to unlock the angel. You have to break the seals. And they have not broken the seals. You know, all these people out here, they claim they were Elijah, they claim they were Jesus, they claim they were Prophet Muhammad, they claim all these different things, right? And all of them are supposed to, including the so-called Muslims, are supposed to believe in the scripture, especially the angel, the book that was given to Jesus, because Jesus is supposed to return according to them in the end with the Mahdi. Where he's going to turn is to turn with scripture because it's locked. It would not be unsealed until the end. But they are, well, you know, so you could like everything else is Sunnism, just BS. There's no logical reason there. But all are supposed to believe that. All of them. All the basic religions are supposed to believe that. See? Because it's talked about in the Old Testament, so-called Old Testament also. So the Jews are supposed to believe it too. They're supposed to believe in those scriptures, at least that sign is spoken. It should be something that all the so-called major religions should be aware of. But not one of them can tell you what it is. Now do your research. I said I would give $1,000 to anyone that showed me that they knew what it was. That they knew exactly what that is. Go and do your research. Google it, research, library, whatever you want to do, and see if anyone can tell you what the abomination of desolation is. They know exactly what they know what it is. They're all guessing. But if you don't know what it is, you're doomed, because it says when you see that, you have to act immediately. So how can you can't go back and do research at that point. You can't even go back and get your baby. You can't do anything. You have to act immediately. Immediately. So that means you have to know what that is. And none of them know what it is. Farrakhan, none of them. Yes, their eyes are glazed over. They have no idea what it is. So how can they be saved, right? Or protect or anything? How can they protect themselves if they don't know what that is? Talking about the rapture and all this kind of stuff. It says that when you see that, flee, because that is what. Because then will come then will come a time of tribulation such as never. It says that will precede it. That sign, because that's what you have to sign. Because that's where you have to flee. Because that will be a time of unprecedented trouble. That's what it tells you. And you get the same message when you read about Sodom and Gomorrah. Because they've had to flee to the mountains too. It's a lot, he protested. So the point, I'm not going to dwell on this. The point we're telling you here is that someone, because it says this gospel will be taught in all the nations, all the world, and then the end will come. But you have to understand, the gospel is the angel, and the angel is the only one that can explain what that is. See? So that means someone would have to break the seals and reveal what that is. And then someone had to recognize it, believe in it, so they'll know, because it says some do flee. So the only way they could have flee, right? They had to know, they had to recognize it. And they only recognize somebody had to tell them what it is. I don't know if you see where I'm going with this, right? So that means a lot of people going to recognize it. But the only way they can recognize it is they have to know what it is. The only way they can recognize it is they have to be listening to this message and accept it. Because they're trying to tell you no one's paying attention to this. But it tells you that a lot of people were saved, right? Because those who was delivered, remember, Michael stands up and delivers those in the Lamb's Book of Life. The only way you get in there. That's, again, he has to break the seals. You have to be in his book. He's the only one. If they haven't broke the seals, they don't have the lamb. They thought, well, Jesus got, no. It says the lamb is the one that breaks the seals. And if Jesus broke the seals, then why are you still guessing what it means? Why would he bring a sealed Bible if he's going to break the seals right there? Why even put one seal in it? You're going to invite people over, right? You're going to take the wine bottle and seal it. Then you're going to immediately open it. Don't make any sense. Okay. So that's the point. I'm trying to get you to understand the point here. The point is, pay close attention now. The point is that if all those people fled, they was able to save themselves. They only was able to do that because they recognized that sign. And the only way they could recognize that sign, somebody had to tell them. And no one knows that sign but Suleiman. So that means it has to be listening and paying attention. That's how they recognize the sign. I mean, they couldn't be guessing. They'd have to believe what he's saying, because you can't be in doubt. Remember, you have to be absolutely sure of that, what you're looking at, because you have to flee immediately. You can't sit back and say, oh, I wonder, is that what he's saying? I wonder, no. It has to be firm in your mind of what that sign is. And so when you see it, you know to move. That means it has to be firm in your mind already. That means you have to already know. That means you have to already accept what he's telling you before it happens. That means millions have to already know, because there's millions, right? Because it's 17 million of us. See? It says the Christians read the story a lot. They won't They won't recognize it. They won't recognize it because they ain't listening to this. Because they're preachers and telling them, because they're mostly all demons anyway, they're telling them, oh, well, you know, false Israel is true Israel, that kind of stuff. So they ain't listening to this. But it says millions are. And it says the Nation of Islam is listening too. Read about Mark. It says, when they saw Jesus from afar, Suleiman from afar, they ran. They wanted to listen to him. But it was Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, the NOI backwards that's prevented. He was somehow stopping it. Read it. So this is to let you know, brothers and sisters, that a lot of people, I've been telling you, a lot of people, a lot of them are hidden. A lot of people pay attention to this, but they're blocking it. They're making you think nobody's paying attention to this. But if you understand what Allah says, that's a lie. Unless I haven't broken the seals and all I'm saying is messed up. But if I have broken the seals, that means they're lying. They're hiding the fact that a lot of people are paying attention to this. I already mentioned a lot of people just don't want to get on social media because they have jobs and everything else. See? But it says millions of people are paying attention because they already have to know. Remember, they can't be in doubt. They cannot be in doubt. See? They cannot be in doubt because it says when you see it, you have to recognize it immediately. You can't call back and say, I wonder, is that it? You have to recognize it immediately. That's why I say, I tried to explain, you know, I gave a class on to some people today. I trying to get them to really understand what it's really saying. Because angel is very powerful, but you know sometimes we you know it takes a while to kind of you know get a grip on it. That's what it's telling you. Because it says you have to recognize this immediately. You have to already know what it is. You have to recognize it when it happens. It's about to happen. That means millions of people who are paying attention. That's what it's telling you. Because it says this gospel will preach in all the world. It means it's all over the place. But they make you think no one's paying attention. So if you believe in the scripture, you believe in the angel, you know that's it. It reveals everything because they're lying about everything. And they're doing everything they can to make you think nobody's paying attention to this. But all of us that's paying attention, they are paying attention, know the NOI is paying attention because of the way they respond all the time. We say, we talk about it, then they respond to it. See? And it says they would be the main ones because it says they are responding. Because it says the demon, when they saw him from afar. They saw him coming. They know, you know, they saw him coming and they ran to join with Suleiman. But Legion intervened and said, no, what you doing that for? The demon. So think about that, brothers and sisters. We're going to move on. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, right? But definitely, we got to really look at these things, understand what they're really telling us. And it reveals everything. See? Because I know they BSing. See? Good. If nobody's paying attention to this, then what's the point of talking about the sign? That means only a few people is going to survive it. That means only a few people, those that know it is, those that know what it is, and there's only a few people, according to them, right, that knows what it is. So only those only ones is going to survive. Because it says you got to run because they're going to attack you at that point. That means only a handful of people. That's not what the angel tells us. He's telling you there's a lot more going on than you know. So let's move on, brothers and sisters. And let's move on here. So I'm going to spend a couple of seconds here. But understand, brothers and sisters, you know, a lot of things I can't say, but I'm saying a lot. But I am saying. And they are trying to block this message. Right? But understand that point. The abomination of desolation says you have to already know what it is. You have to already know what you're looking for. Not figuring out how to happen because you have to act immediately. And this is going to happen pretty soon. That means a lot of people already know what to look for. And if you go do your research, you'll find that none of these people out here, Christians, Muslims, nobody else, Go all the internet, look all over these people talking about they know the scripture and all that kind of stuff, and none of them know what that means. Not one. They don't even come close. Okay, I'm gonna say a couple of things here, brothers and sisters. Now that's the sun. Sunlight comes from the sun. Okay. Now light spreads out, right, at a rate of 1 over d squared, which means the greater distance squared, the more diffused the light is. But see, as you get further out, it's not, because you get further and further apart. That means the further away you get from the sun, the less heat it is because it's dispersing at the rate of 1 over d squared. So if you say at 1 mile, right, it'd be 1 over 1. At 2 miles, it'd be 1 over 1 over 4. That's because 2 times 2 squared is 4. Over 3 miles, it'd be 1 over 9 because 3 times 3, that's 3 squared, would be 1 over 9. So it's 1/9 who it was when it was a mile away. So 3 miles away is only 1/9 as strong, right? And 100 miles away, right, it'd be 100, that'd be 10,000, 1 over 10,000, be very weak, right? You just say 10 miles away. And 10 miles away, it'd be 1 over 100. So it'd be 1 over, so in other words, it'd be like $1 to a penny, okay? That's how weak it'd be at 10 miles away. 100 miles away would be a lot weaker. So that's the what spreads out like. That's the way light spreads out. That's the equation right there. See? So why am I saying this? Because all that energy you have, as further it gets out, it gets dispersed. So you got a lot of energy. You got like you put your word, you're putting your word out there. Your force spreads out. So the further away people are, right, the less impact it's gonna have on them. See. So if you go out to planet Pluto, it's hardly, I mean, it's freezing out there because the sunlight, by the time it get there, is very weak. At that rate, 1 over d squared. See, the distance, 1 over distance squared. So let's look at this. Now, if you take all that light and put it like that, that's called a laser. So it's not spread out. See, it's all going the same direction. It's called a laser. See? Now, when you do it like that, that means as far as it goes, it's still going to be just as hot. So if the sun was a laser, it would be just hot here on Pluto as it is here. The sunlight that hit here would be just hot as it would be on Pluto. It'd be just hot as it would be on Pluto as hot as it's here, because it's not dispersed. It's just 1 to 1. That's the equation for that. So as far as that light goes, it's going to be that hot. Same heat, right? No matter how far it goes out. See? And so that's called a laser. This is something what it looks like right here. See, that's a laser there. It burns through steel. They use lasers to cut diamonds. Burn through steel. You get a hot enough laser, it go right through steel like a knife through butter. See, regular sunlight won't do that. Heat it up, but this will burn a hole in it. In fact, it's more deadly than a bullet, and it moves at the speed of light. They're trying to make laser weapons now. Problem is, it has an air, an atmosphere. Atmosphere causes it to disperse. See, because the molecules, I'm not going into detail, but the molecules in the air and everything cause disperse. So it can't stay, it's focused, concentrate, and then it's easy to deflect it. Like, believe it or not, a mirror could deflect it. But if it hits you, it burn a hole right through you so fast, be more powerful than a bullet. Go right, it burn a hole through you, and 100 people right behind you. Just keep on going. See, they're more effective in so-called outer space because you don't have atmosphere. But they're building, and they're very effective. They got more powerful laser weapons than those are so secret. They won't find out until they actually have a war. But they're more deadly than actually bullets. But like I said, the problem is the reflection, because a shiny surface, right? Instead of burning through it, it reflected back, and that's the last thing you want is to have a bullet ricochet and come right back at you. See, so somebody can reflect that, and then you shoot the laser beam towards them. They put a mirror, and the beam goes right back towards them. That's one of the problems with lasers because it's light. It's just light. See, but light is heat. Light is fire. The photons. So why am I talking about this? The reason I'm talking about this is because that's what's happened to us. See, they give us a vision that's dispersed. See, we have enough energy. See, that laser, see, if you put it together, that laser have enough energy to burn right through. It'll burn right through. So it was, we have enough energy to take everything back that's taken from us. We have enough energy to do it, but it's not focused. So they have our energy dispersed, and so therefore it's going all over the place. So we're still locked up in this cage here. See? That's why they don't want to have a common vision, because a common vision would be like that laser. If all black folks get a common vision, original people, see Abraham get a common vision, that Abraham, boom, the laser, and nothing could stop it. Remember, it's burned whole right through steel like nothing. It'll burn whole through. You can have 100 feet of steel, it burn right through. It's like a nothing. It's like a knife through butter. See? Photons, lasers are very powerful. Look up laser. That's a laser right there. It goes right through it. See? It'd be more powerful than the sun. Because like I said, the sun dispersed. So the lasers they built here are hotter than the sun. Because all that energy is focused in one line. Instead of being dispersed outward. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get our people to focus on the Abrahamic covenant, because once they do it, there's nothing that can stop us. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's why they keep your vision dispersed. NFL, NBA, video games, picnics, June 10th, and all other kind of BS. All these series, they got more series on TV now. It's unbelievable. I mean, I think that's if this side wasn't about to blow up, I'd probably go into entertainment, because there must be a lot of jobs in entertainment, because all those series, somebody's got to be doing that stuff. Somebody's gonna make those series. I mean, they got if you live for 1,000 years, you would be able to see all the series they got out there on TV, on cable, and everything else. Somebody's watching that stuff. And if you spend the time all of you spend on TV, if you spend that time writing a book, you have 5, 6 PhDs. Because you spend what, 2, 3, 4 hours a day, some more, watching TVs, series, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 hours a day. If you spend 2 hours a day studying, right, what would that do to you? You set the bad example for your children. Because you're playing these games, video, and all, watching sports and all that kind of stuff. How much time are you wasting every day doing that? But what if you were studying? They don't want you to do that. All these things are distractions. They keep your energy dispersed. Because they don't want you to focus like a laser beam. Because once you're there, it's over. They're over. Like I said, it burns right through steel. It burns them right up. They could not, because they can't get that focus as we do. See, they came out of Europe like a laser beam. They had one focus in mind, that they were the spiritual seed of Abraham. They was all thinking like that. There's racism. They trying to deny it, and they was focused more than anybody else, and they took over the whole planet. Gog and Magog took over the whole planet because they had a common vision. And now they've given you their vision, so you're helping them captivate you. Because that's their vision. So now they've given you their vision, Christianity and everything else, and read it. Christianity tells you to help them, to submit to them, to go along with them, right? Be good to master, listen to master, right? And even after you die, master's going to be waiting for you to check you out, see if you was good to master on this side. Because that's why Jesus on that wall in it. So I just point this concept out to you, brothers and sisters. I already made my main point about what's going on right now, about that Abomination, desolation. See, I never talked to you about that before, because now I told you as we get closer, I'm going to bring out more and more to you, tell you what's going on, because I have to be very careful, because I tell you, I'm telling them. So now I've told you that, now you should understand it. And then you should read into it and see what it really means. It said the NOI, right? They was wanted to get on board with this, but it was Legion that stopped them. Read it. It's right in there, Mark. So they saw him from afar and they ran to him. So that means they're ready to go. Only thing stopping them is Lion Farrakhan. They ready to go. They recognize this sign. See, but they know what the sign is now because I just told them. They ain't know before I told them. They ready to go, but he got some hold on them somehow. See, we can discuss that some other time. I'm not gonna discuss it now. And not only them, it's a lot of other people that's paying attention to this. So don't listen to what Facebook and YouTube and all them that little things they tell you. And everybody's only 6, 7 people. That's not what the angel's telling us. That's not what the Bible's telling us. And it says it would be preached in all the world. That means it's all over the world people listen to this. They don't want you to know that. See, they're trying to defeat they're trying to defeat your vision because they're trying to get you frustrated. There ain't nothing happening. Anybody pay attention? See, they're not frustrating me because I know what the truth is. So I just point that out to you. So let's move on here. And one other thing here. See, this world right now is operating on 180 degrees because they're only 180 degrees of the circle. We're complete. Both of us come together, male and female. But the male is only 180 degrees. But the males are ruling. They're ruling because they put the females down. So the world's operating on 180 degrees. And what's the male side of the equation, right? Aggression, strength. Those are male qualities. Aggression, strength. That leads to war and fighting. What's the female side of it? Peace, love, right? Beauty. So that part of the world doesn't exist because all we see is the male side. Because they tell you the males, they're a degree above the women, they're supposed to rule. So they're ignoring the male-female side. They're ignoring the female intelligence. See, they have intelligence equal to ours, just different. Different but equal. 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 6 is 12, 1 times 12 is 12. It's still 12. It's different, but they ignore the female side. And so that's why the world is one-sided. Mischief, shed blood. There's no peace and love and joy in the world. There's none. It's only the male side. Because that's how Adam rolls. That's what I'm telling you, right? The female is equal to the male. But there it is, they're equal. They're just going different directions, but they're equal. Right? One's going towards the left, one's going to the right, but that makes them complete. So when you rule the world with equality of both genders, then you have what the Quran and the Bible is telling you. Then you have right strength, firmness, peace, joy, and beauty. Because that's what the hereafter is. See? But they put the woman down, and that's part of what the problem is right here. And most people go along with that. Say, well, America's putting all the women, well, America's not putting the women up. They're using the women. They take her clothes off, every advertisement, right? That's to get women in. They'll have the clothes in, right? They show them beaver shots and everything else. You know, I'm not trying to get too vulgar here, but that's what they're doing. Because I've seen it. You know, I've been on contracts, right? And like a company coming trying to sell something, they say, oh, they think it's a pretty girl, right? And she hardly no clothes on, right? And then, you know, and she had to give beaver shots to get the guy's attention. So they buy their product. I see them do it. IBM does all of them do it. You see? And right now you go in there, you look at like all these, you act like every, you know, they try to get the most pretty ones. The most beautiful women on the planet are the original women. But they try to find, you know, they find the Europeans, right? They look better than they used to. I don't know what they did to them. Something must be something in the water, right? But they try to find the prettiest ones they can. And those ones you see all over the media and everything, right? Those are the ones you see. So you make you think that all of them look like that. And I know you see some ugly ones, some real ugly ones. So you mean there's no ugly ones? So he's using them. See, they don't get any equality. They're using them. You know, one of the things is that, you know, a little segue here is that they was down, they had their women down, right, until the 60s, so-called civil rights movement. And then came the affirmative action, all that kind of stuff, right? And these so-called black leaders, the demons, they stupid, right? See, because they're always trick like Farrakhan. I'm gonna go and tell him in a second. He's a fool. They use him. So they say, okay, you don't get affirmative action. And then say, oh, we don't get affirmative action. They signed the papers and everything else, right? And before the ink was dry, the government classified females, particularly white females, as minority, because that was the language in the other one. Minorities would be the minorities would be affirmative action. So what happened? All of a sudden, women got all the jobs and everything that these Negroes thought they was going to get, because they was considered, they're not a minority in the country, but they considered a minority. So they got all the jobs, they got all the positions. Didn't have those positions before so-called civil rights movement, because they most was at home, just like the black women were. Now they all in corporate America, every place else. See, that's the tricks. Like Farrakhan, you know, he's just a dummy. He's a demon. He's smarter than the demons that's following him. He's just a dummy. He runs over the Middle East, and I don't even waste time even getting the tape and everything. He goes to the Middle East, and they trick this dumbass. They send him in some room. They got this guy. The guy can't even barely walk, right? He can barely see. You can see he looked like he's almost leprous. But he's supposed to be the Grand Mufti. He's the Grand Mufti of all Islam. He lived in a little old room, right? Got a little cot. But he's the Mufti. And then Farrakhan says, see, he says, he's listening to me because I'm coming over there and this is the Grand Mufti of Islam, right? He's listening to me. I'm teaching him. I said, man, really? And you that dumbass, you fall for that stupid, they laughed at your dumbass. This ain't some homeless man, don't know shit. Oh, he's a Grand Mufti. He listened to me. See how great I am? Well, if he's a Grand Mufti and they listen to him and he's supposed to Grand Mufti or whatever that everybody listens to, then how come they didn't fall out and worship you afterwards? How come they ain't listening to you over in Sui Land right now? How can you run to their mosque? Dumbass. All these, boy. Fire guy cracks me up, but he's a minstrel. You know those minstrels? You know, blackface and everything. He's a minstrel. Playing his little violin and stuff. He's a minstrel. He's a joke. And you're going to find in a minute. Because I said, all these people listening, right? And as soon as they see the bomb on the destination, he's toast. They're going to get rid of him immediately. Because whatever hole he got, that's going to break it. Instead, they're going to be taken down from inside. You read Exodus. He's going to be taken down by his own people he think that he's deceiving. Okay, let's run this through quickly. Okay, pi, symbol pi represents circle, completion, right? Now the mathematical is 22 divided by 7. That's the angel. 22 chapters divided by 7 seals equal pi, completion. Because we started this process 50,000 years ago. We descended into injury deprivation, right? As a circle, and everything began to take from us. 50,000 years, first took our land and so forth until we got to where everything was taken from us. And now at this point, right, now we're at the point, the full circle, where we start to take back everything that was taken from us. We come out in energy deprivation, now we're taking back everything. That's what angel represents. Angel will get us there. See? Angel's what it's going to get us to focus like a laser beam. That's the purpose of it, to get our minds back. So if we're to get our minds back, it gets concentrate, gets that one vision. Full circle. And Gog and Magog, it says in chapter 20, they would go out, right? We're not going to spend a lot of time here, but Gog and Magog, Gog is America, and Magog, the mother of Gog, that's what Magog means, is Britain. That's where America came out of Britain. Adam and Eve's story. Adam put to sleep for 1,000 years. When he came out, there was Eve. 1,000 years was dark ages, medieval period. See? So Jesus is the one that brought Adam into existence, gave him the sealed Bible. He's the one that make mitzvah shed blood, but he's giving guidance. If you're giving guidance, who gave you guidance? What your guidance would be? To make mitzvah shed blood. And that's what you created to do, then your guidance would be to show you how to do that. Be effective at doing it. And that's a sealed Bible. See? And in the sealed Bible, you find all the stuff they're doing. Democracy, capital, all that stuff is in there. You understand it. All that, the motivation for all that stuff is in the sealed Bible. But the unsealed Bible destroys all of that. All things new. And again, abomination of desolation, right? Only way you knew about it is I told you. Abomination of desolation means the destruction of false Israel. That means that vision that the world is operating on right now, that's the vision, that's the core of the vision, that's the fundamental, that's the base of the vision that the world is operating on right now. So everybody's focused on the Middle East. That's the vision they're operating on, right? And with that, and if that vision is suddenly destroyed, right, that destroys this whole reality. It collapses with it. That means they have to recover quickly. And when that's destroyed, that means the true Israel will be immediately known. And so that means you have to come to the conclusion that you must be a true seed of Abraham. That means now you got to start rebooting. See? Because your system just crashed. Your system just crashed. So now you got to reboot. And the time that you're rebooting, they see you rebooting, right? Just like that tiger, that lion, that's when they're going to try to destroy you. Because they can't have you rebooting. They can't have, because if you're done, remember you reboot, you're going to be at laser beam. When you reboot, you're going to be at laser beam. And they cannot stop. You had a common vision. You'll be a nation then. A nation or people have a common vision. You don't have it right now. Elijah Muhammad started building a nation. He's given us, Levites anyway, a common vision. And see how effective they were. So when this collapsed, that means you have a system collapse. When falsehoods go down, that's the operating system of the world right now. The fact that falsehoods over there, that's the operating system that the world is operating on right now. Understand that. When it crashes, everybody will have to reboot. When they reboot, they're going to find a new operating system. And the operating system will be either us, that means we're ruling now, or them, who they claim to be they claim to be the spiritual. And it's got to be one or the other. And so they will take us out. So their operation system will be the one that will operate on. Of course, if we successfully reboot, then we get rid of them. And the world operates. Because the world's operate, no matter what happens, the world's going to operate on a different operating system if false Israel goes down. Because that's the operating system the world's operating on right now. That system, that's the operating system. If it crashes, then they have to, the software is no good, right? The operating system is no good. They have to have a new operating system. And there's only two there. See, and we already proved that we're the correct operating system. See? But if they take ours, that means they're going to get rid of theirs. So from marketing, from business decision, they got to get rid of ours immediately before we reboot. Because when it's booted, everybody's going to use ours. You understand? I'm trying to give it to you from that point of view. See, the operating system right now is based on false Israel over there, that they're the true seed of Abraham. See? And that's the fault. See, their operating system right now, you see, it's got a big virus in it. Nobody wants it. See? Nobody wants the operating system because it's collapsing. See, at the core. See, the code is breaking down. That's what it's telling you. The family units are breaking down. They can't figure, it's getting all kinds of errors. It's slowing, it's buffering. right? Because they can't, at the core, of the operating system, right? See, is gender, family, and now that's all corrupted. Nobody knows what gender are you on anymore. You can't say, right? You gender reassignment. You don't know if you're male or female. They don't have no male or female privacy anymore. The distinction is blown. Males can go in and have sports with females, and and nobody says anything, and you can get changed. You don't even have to go and get a physical reassignment. You can just say, I feel like I'm the other gender. No more gender privacy. So a male can go in a female restroom, bathroom. They can walk among them totally naked, right? And all they got to do is say they still had a male parts, right? But they can just say, "Oh, I'm a female." It's total. So that means the system is bugged. It's got all kinds of bugs in it. It's not working too well. See, so nobody's going to buy that system. That means our system is working perfectly, even with the demons. That's why it says, right? You understand what Lot situation. Lot was they was helping hold up America because they wasn't even falling for that. They wasn't even falling for that. They had enough original in them not to be falling for that. At least a lot of them. You go to most of these black churches, everything, they ain't so much falling for this gender reassignment and all this stuff. So they got enough original even for them. They ain't even going for that. So they partly was keeping the system going. See, and all black people had to be removed, and so it just collapsed. So that software is not working too well. The operating system is not working too well. It's failing. It's getting bugs. It's crashes, buffering. That's what it tells you, because when the foundation is rotten and corrupt, the whole house gonna come falling down. And so the foundation code is all messed up. The foundation code of the operating system right here in America, right, is all corrupt. It's falling apart. Nobody wants it. All other nations, all the nations don't want it. That's another thing right there. They don't want it. They don't want to operate. They don't want our operating system either because they don't want us to control them. But they definitely don't want that one because you said Russia condemned them. Said, man, y'all, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all talking about Jesus, homosexual, all that kind of stuff. China said, I don't bring that crap over here. They were two of the most powerful countries in the world. Africa don't want it. Nobody wants the operating system. See? So anything they can do is get rid of ours because that's the only choice they're going to have once they take down false Israel, the operating system. Because it won't be anymore. So only got two choices. Theirs are ours, and ours will look very attractive compared to theirs. Because theirs is obviously falling apart. Hope you understand from that perspective, brothers and sisters. See? So we're just talking about the demons. It says those before me were thieves and robbers. Can't be talking about the prophet Muhammad, the Jeremiah. It can't be talking about the one that precede them. So that means that lock you in the right. Talking about Joshua or Suleiman, right? In Exodus, who preceded him? Aaron. Aaron was no good. He was a coward. See the people. See, so it couldn't be talking about all the prophets, everything before. It's talking about the one that preceded him. That's Farrakhan. What I call him, Killer Vision. That's his job because he's a demon. He got to do that because he's gonna suffer the same fate as Master. So he's helping Master destroy us. Okay, Quran and Injil. Those are the Quran. We're using the Quran, right? To firm ourselves up. The Injil is our vision. Upload it. There's Killer Vision. See, that's why we're setting up beacons all over. Because when the abomination of desolation, this place is going to be totally dark. Totally dark. Because everybody's going to be rebooting. Everybody's going to be rebooting. Except you brothers and sisters already rebooted. All you sisters and brothers out there has already rejected that software, false Israel, and you already rebooted. You're going to be the beacons, Show everybody else how to reboot, because you're already rebooted. But everybody's rebooting. That means system rebooting, you can't do anything with it. It's darkness. You can't do anything with it. See? When it crashes, rebooting, you can't do anything with it, right? Fully reboots, recovers. So when you're rebooting, these people rebooting, that means that's the point of insanity. What did that do? They got to find their new way. And our people are going to realize they're true seed Abraham. See? But the demons, they're going to realize they're the demons. Those Christians out there, Christians, blacks, realize they're demons. And when they do that, they're going to tear this country apart. See? Because what software they're going to run off of? They're going to run off of ours. They can't reboot without ours. Can't take our operating system. And the one system they was relying on, same one that devils were relying on, their master, their dads relying on. That's false Israel. See? But they had alternatives. See? They had a backup. See? That means the spiritual Israel. But in the spiritual Israel, the demons are nothing. They're supposed to be destroyed. So they've been in a rock hard place. They can't. We don't want them. They can't upload ours. They can't upload our software. See? If they go and upload, right, the one we just talked about, right? The one's corrupt, gender confusion. That's the only other one they can upload. And they got a problem with that one too. Plus, even if they upload it, Master don't want them. So they're back against the wall. Only they can do now is try to defeat Master. So we gone. We don't want them. They got to stay here. And now there's a fight between them and Master. Because Master trying to destroy them, so they got to destroy Master. So they fight between each other. They're going to destroy each other. These countries vulnerable, right? In the reboot stage, where the enemy's going to come and just roll over this place. That's the story, brothers and sisters. They're going to be in darkness, confused, fighting with each other. So when they fight, it's a house divided cannot stand. They fight with each other, so the enemy's easy, just roll right in. Because they be so busy fighting each other. Just imagine 17 million black folks on the rampage. You thought it was bad when they had those riots. Remember, they was confused. They had trouble when they had those riots. And those was like maybe a few 100,000 people. It wasn't even close to that. Now they got 17 million black folks, demons, that's back against the wall. This country is going to be, there's not going to be any food because the whole structure is broken down, right? Whole structure is broken down. They're fighting amongst each other. The bad weather, no food. Ain't gonna be any food in your grocery stores. Somebody's got to deliver it. They got a plague going on. All it's going on at the same time. And their enemies already threatened to close in. Russia's threatening them, China's threatening them. And so now they're going to see that, hey, there's the opportunity. Because America's inflamed, fighting against each other. It'd be more than a civil war, it'd be a race war. The demons will be a race war in America. We're going to be gone. Only ones going to be left behind here is the Levites. Those followers of Farrakhan, who Farrakhan deceived, and they were left behind to go through tribulation. They've been warned. See, they don't want to listen to this. Tell them, well, I'm just listening to what Elijah said. Well, I'm just this. Okay, you're going to pay the price. Because it says about the message is clear. See, most or 99.9% of them never saw the message, never followed the message. And they wouldn't have followed the message if the message was around right now. Because they would be listening to the message of the covenant. They want to be the big man. They're too proud. They don't want to hear it. They didn't see COVID-19 coming. They didn't see it. They didn't come any close. See, but yesterday I know everything. It's in the message of the black man. I saw it coming. It's an easy call. 1619 to 2019, 400 years, right? 2020 be a plague that killed the firstborn elderly, but it passed over us. Black Africa is virtually unaffected by this, and so are we. But they telling you lies, or we dropping like flies over here, which is a lie. I'm 72 years old. I wear a mask, anything, right? And I probably caught it a couple of times, right? But it didn't take me down. I didn't miss a day. Might got a few sniffles. See, So that says, NOI, going through tribulation. That's what it said. Read Mark. Once the man was free of the demon, after they removed the demons from him, when Jesus left, he said, no, y'all can. They wanted to go. He said, no, you can't go. You got to go back and witness. Because see, you're not supposed to do in the last 42 years, but you were deceived by Farrakhan. Instead of building a bridge between Elijah, the messenger, and the messenger of the covenant, right? You was building a mansion for Farrakhan, deceive you. Instead, the man, son of perdition, would make war against you for 42 years, make war with the saints, ain't you the saints? And overcome you. Because that was the test. Elijah Muhammad came and gave you the lecture, and then you got the test. Farrakhan was the test. So how in the hell could you fail that test after Elijah Muhammad? The man's father's a devil. And how in the hell he could be your Messiah? Number one, he even admits it. But now he's, oh, well, that's in a Jewish publication. Well, that was still, I don't care what publication is, he said it. Plus, he denies the covenant. He said we ain't going nowhere. That means he called Allah and Elijah Muhammad a liar. He already said he didn't believe in either one of them. I love Elijah. I love Farah, but I don't believe that Farah is God, and I don't believe Elijah is the messenger. That means, okay, I love them, but they liars. I love those two liars. I mean, everything he says is totally foul. Plus, Allah put a sign on him, a visible flame, emboweled his ass. That means Allah never puts that kind of punishment on anybody but hypocrites and liars and people that pretend to be divine. Because no man would want that. Any man on the planet would tell you, crucify me 5 times rather than have that happen. That's the worst thing you could do to a man. He's not a man anymore. He's just somebody with some tubes up his ass. And you still listen to him. So you deserve to go through tribulation. How could you be deceived by that fool? He's a minstrel. He's a liar. He tells you Elijah Muhammad told him to his face he's going to be his greatest hypocrite. He says, I got the tape. He's saying it himself. Elijah Muhammad said, you'd be a fool, want to stay here in the land of your imprisonment. I got the tape saying it. He said, we ain't going nowhere. And you still with him? You should have got rid of him a long time ago. So you deserve to go to tribulation. Because yeah, you failed that bad after you got a test and you got taught like Elijah Muhammad taught you. He ain't building, this clown ain't building anything. He been getting money for economic development, right, for 42 years, and he ain't built a goddamn thing. Nothing. Nothing. So where's the money going? Build a mansion for itself. $500, $1,000 glasses, $2,000 dresses and carrying on with tubes up his ass, totally disemboweled. They said the woman is our heaven, right? Well, that bridge is cut for him. What the guy do? So you deserve to go through, and this because you would never follow Elijah Muhammad if you can't understand this message here. And this is simple, easy. In fact, it's free. And it confirms everything Elijah Muhammad said. It explains the angel and everything. All the signs are there. The person would break the 7 seals. Did Elijah Muhammad claim to break the 7 seals? Oh, here one clown says, well, when Farrakhan's going to do it, when he does it, or when Elijah does it, watch out, like he's going to do it. Did he claim to do it? Did Master Muhammad claim to do it? All the signs are there. It says the sign of Jonah, all the signs. It says that when he was born, when he was conceived, there'd be a star rise in the east, right? The stars fall, the so-called Star of David falls to Israel. How would when star rise in the east? 1948. So that means he was conceived in 1948. So Suleiman, that's when he was conceived, 1948. I mean, all the signs are there. It's clear as hell, clear as day. See? So you're not hurting Suleiman. How can you feel that you'd hurt Suleiman? Because he ain't asked you for anything. So how the hell you hurting him by not standing up with him? How the hell you hurting him? Because he asked for anything. In fact, you couldn't give him anything if you wanted to, because you don't know how. Because he'll give you any kind of way you accept anything. And those that stand with him don't give him a dime because they wouldn't know how they couldn't do it if they wanted to. See? It's a free gift, as it says in Angel. So how are you deceived? Oh, wait, he's a tough man, very tough man. See how he talk about them satanic Jews? Like, really? Who are the satanic Jews? Tell you who the satanic Jews are. The Jews don't like the satanic Jews. Nobody likes the satanic Jews. Not even the Jews like them. Who are they? He just got you, made a fool out of you. And so therefore you got to go to tribulation again. Remember the 10 virgins? Right? 10 got the guy together and got ready. See? The other 10 slept And then when Suleiman showed up, they went to walk in, he slammed the door in their face. Then they asked, begging the other one, hey, come help me out, man. I said, I ain't give you nothing. You went to sleep on it, that's your problem. See? Slam the door in their face, that's what happened. And all you out there that preachers that claim that you were the messenger, you script teaching and everything else, you tribulation, you going through tribulation, but you ain't coming out of it. Because if you come out, we're gonna throw you back in. We're gonna throw you back in the fire. We don't want you because our people are lost because of lack of knowledge. Blood is on your hands because you should have got on this message, but you was blocking the message. See, you know when the sun, you put up something between the sun, right? You're blocking it. You put a shadow after it leaves a shadow. So you and every shadow is darkness. So you are putting our people in darkness because you're blocking the light. So our people walking around dark. That's why people lost because of lack of knowledge, because you're the one causing it. The light is shining, and you sitting around blocking it with your bullshit. Oh, I'm the one, seventh angel. I'm one of the messengers, minister. You ain't messenger, minister. You talking about I'm one of his ministers because I got message black man. Okay, see, you along with the preachers, you got no hope. You got no hope because their blood. Because you're gonna have to account. Because everyone that dies, and even the brothers and sisters that come in, and because their sister and their brother and their mother and everything didn't come in because they're going to tear your ass up. So you got no hope because you've been warned. See, if you ain't with me, you're against me. You've been warned. See, yeah, they're talking about, I'm got little silly temples and stuff. Have no idea what's going on. You didn't warn people about COVID-19, so how come you know about that one? You should know about that one. How come you know about that one? How come you missed that one? That's simple. That was simple. How can you miss that? You know so much. You have no idea what's about to happen. That's why they're going to get rid of you along with the preachers, right? When the abomination of apartment happens. And you're going to run too. You're going to run here, but we're going to cast your ass right back in the fire. See? Now, other brothers and sisters, they're going to have to go through tribulation too because you left them in darkness. But they're going to get through it. But you have to go through it, and you ain't going to get through it. You're going to go through it, right? And when you get yourself in, have to go through all that, right? We're going to throw your ass right back in. We're going to reject you. We're going to throw your ass right back in. You ain't coming in there. You're not coming in here after with us. Remember all the proud, becoming stubble? You ain't coming in. We're not going to let you in. We're going to give you the same portion as we give the demons. Same portion. Because you was doing the same work they was doing. You was blocking the people from getting the truth. See? Because everything I'm telling you is the truth. See? It tells you right there, be a messenger of the covenant. You can't miss it. Oh, well, see? So you out there with your BS, you're going to be called to account. Okay, we're going to wrap this up pretty quick. I went word further than I expect to. And that's another thing, Sunnism, right? Because our vision, remember, we're trying to restore our vision. But our vision is the promised land. They're sitting on the promised land. They don't want to give it up. So they're doing everything they can to destroy that vision. Because they come in Sunnism. Sunnism, you get rid of the vision. It's dispersed again. Because there's no covenant of Abraham in Sunnism. And then Ishmael is the inheritor in Sunnism. See, so we just Negroes with the Quran. See, that's why I said, come into my web, says by the flag. But come in here, see, destroy that vision. Because they don't want to give up that land. See? But we know who they are. Then you got the merchants, dream merchants. Got vision for everything, except the Abrahamic covenant. They should be teaching that in the churches, right? See? They told me they better not teach it. See? Martin Luther King, he heard less Elijah Muhammad. He rebelled, and he was dead the next day. He wouldn't get that promised land speech. He was dead the next day. These preachers know they better not teach that. Farrakhan knows they better not teach. He said, yeah, y'all, but y'all ain't going nowhere. That means we don't get paid. That means we're not producing Abraham, right? That means he's a God and Elijah's a liar. But that's the whole purpose. That's why I came here to remind us of that covenant. And the whole 40 years of Elijah Muhammad was to take and nurse that idea, right? That vision. See? And now he said, we ain't going nowhere. So in other words, that means that what's the point? The whole he just He don't come out directly tell you, but he tell you we ain't going. So that means we're not true to Abraham, or we ain't going back, or I mean, we're not getting a reward because we sinful. Remember, he told us we sin, we come in as because we're sinful. That's not what Elijah Muhammad said. That's what Master Muhammad said. See? They're all against that covenant. They've been told not to talk about it. That's why they devils ain't devils no more, and we ain't going nowhere. Elijah Muhammad says we'll be fools who want to stay here in the land of imprisonment. Farrakhan said we're going to stay right here. See? So that's the dream. Every Sunday come in, we got, and for a price. No, they lying to you, but they make you pay for it. We telling the truth, and you ain't got to pay a dime. And you got a problem with us. We ain't telling you to do anything. We're not dictating to you anything. We telling you to be yourself, and you don't cost you anything, right? And we telling you absolute truth, explain everything to you, and you got a problem with that. But these clowns are ripping you off, and you gladly. I guess that's what it says. Why I love devil, because give them nothing. So they give you nothing. They give you less than nothing. So you love them to death. It's remarkable, but you're gonna pay a price for it. And now Master Muhammad is getting ready to make his move. Remember, he's getting ready to destroy the vision of this world. He's going to be Michael's angels go to war with the dragon's angels. See? Who's the dragon's angels? False Israel, America, Britain. He's getting ready to take them down. He takes false Israel down. He destroys this world's vision. Right? He destroys operating system as well. Crashes overnight. He starts everything in motion. I keep telling you, that war breaks out. It changes everything. Master Muhammad's going to go and destroy that, because when he destroys that, that means you have to reboot. He's going to bring you home, brothers and sisters. So you're going to have to reboot. He's going to force you to reboot, because you can't. That's your whole. That's the operating system you're operating on right now. When it's destroyed, you're going to have to reboot. And the only way you can reboot back to, right, is to the seed of Abraham. Yes, that was going on here, brothers and sisters. And I'm over here with the new software for you. He's going to force you the new operating system. Who got the operating system? Suleiman. It says, because you can have return, you have to be in the Lamb's Book of Life. You have to have the operating system to get back. I mean, how clear can I make it for you? But he's going to force you to take the operating system, because the old one's going to fail. It's not going to be any good. You can't use it. It won't be anymore. You can't use it. It's not supported. It just crashed, and it can't come back up anymore. So you have to force a new operating system. And the Suleiman has it. And you have to have the operating system to return. You have to have thorough knowledge yourself. You have to have operating system to return. It has to be in this book of life. How can it be clear, brother and sister? But when you reboot, right, they're rebooting too. See? And so you're going to have a contest between two. Who can reboot the fastest, right? Because when they reboot, they're going to have to destroy us. Because it's only two operating systems going to be left. It's theirs and ours. And if ours want, theirs be obsolete. If they get theirs installed, ours be obsolete. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Again, what is that? Nobody knew what that was before I just told you. All those that standing with me know, no one knew what that was before I told you. Go and check the research. If you can find anyone knew what that was, I get $1,000 immediately, cash money. If you can prove me anybody knew what that was before I told you. They don't know. Look what they say is they have no idea. Now you know. So that means you're gonna be you can survive this thing, because you have to know. If you don't know, the demons, Christians, they don't know. So that means they're gonna be attacked. They're gonna suffer. See? But it don't matter, we don't want them anyway. That's going to inspire them to go back to war with Massa. See? But that means millions are going to be saved because somebody revealed that sign to them. Because if nobody revealed that sign to them, that means everybody would be wiped out, wouldn't they? So somebody had to reveal that mean to them. And it says millions are going to be saved because they reckon who that sign is. That's why it says they all come together. All black folks come together except for the Christians. How they come together? Because they had to recognize the sign before. And how they find out? Because only way to get it is from us. Unless we don't have the sign, there's some other sign. You understand, brothers and sisters? I hope you understand. There's a lot more going on, and they hide it and all kinds of stuff, try to deceive you, Try to make you think that nothing's happening here. Okay. That's it, brothers and sisters. I'm wrapping this up. I went a lot longer than I expected to. Hope you understand. Assalamu alaikum.